Welcome to my channel. So this is actually the second module where I'm going to implement the comment system with Ajax. Okay, so the previous part, if you didn't watch, obviously watch the previous video, which is very important to understand the repository pattern. But in this comment system, I'm not using a repository pattern. I will use repository pattern in the admin dashboard, but this is just a part where I'm going to work with the comment system. Okay, as you can see, and we need to know about a little bit of Ajax. As you can see, we have a product controller, all the thing I did in the previous video. Now it's time to work with our comment controller. So before we do that, you make sure you have a XAMPP server is running, as you can see, and go to admin, and here you need to put some comment. To detail page, you will see some comment here based on this particular product ID, because one product like product ID of 3 can have multiple comments based on this particular product ID, because one-to-many relationship, and all those comments are belongs to a particular product. So this is a review system, comment review system project. So you have to know how to implement this comment system. Okay, let me go to our server, and this is our database that we have created. As you can see in the PHP MyAdmin, YouTube Laravel product comment system. Here we have 3 products. As you can see, 3 products: Samsung, iPhone, and Asus laptop. All of those things. As you can see, 3 products. Now here we need to add our comment. Okay, so let me go to our comment here. Let me go to comments, and as you can see, based on one product ID, we can have comment and its rating, which is very important. First, we need to have some data. Suppose here we have 3 things. First is Asus gaming laptop, then we have S22 Ultra, then we have an iPhone. Okay, so 3 things that we have. So on those 3 things, we need to suppose this is the iPhone picture. Here I will write iPhone is awesome. Okay, awesome. Suppose rating is 5. Let's me go. Okay, so it is inserted. So as you can see, if I go to the comment section, we have an ID, and it's belong to particular product ID of 1, which is iPhone picture, and it's this product ID of 1. And in the product ID of 1, we have a comment: iPhone 13 is awesome, its rating is 5. So all of our comment system is working based on particular product ID. We are adding all of those comment, and those are the comments that will be belonging to particular product ID. That's the thing we need to connect. We just need a product ID, and then we can add all those comment. Okay, so this is the thing that is very important. So we added sub comment. Let me add one more comment for you. S22 Ultra. S22 Ultra is Note. Okay, Ultra is Note, and its rating is 4, suppose. And suppose this is the 2 comments we want. Now we need to go to our show.blade.php. Here we have go home and edit page. We have pictures, we have title, we have price. If we go to detail, as you can see here, we'll see our comment. Okay, so to show our comment, we have 2 div. One div is for actually showing on the cards, and we have one more div here we just need to show, and it should be class of call md4. This is call md9. Okay, so this should be call md3. This is very simple. Use for each loop. Okay, for each loop. For this is very important. We have all the products. Okay, products information, because products has comments. We have 2 relation here. If we go to our models, as you can see, product has many comments. So that's why we can directly access from the product to comments very easily. If you go to the show method, if you go to web.php, if you go to show method, as you can see, where we see all the detail. If you go to the show method, here we are getting all the product by its ID. Okay, with full product information. So that's why we need an ID to show all the product information. So based on that, we are querying all the product information in the show.blade.php, and here we are querying all the information. So where you need to write product. This is already passed from the view, from the controller to view. We already passed this product, as you can see, and we need to access the comments. Okay, so very simple. Product comments as comment, or you can say like item, but I'll keep it comment because it is more readable, which looks really good. And in the p tag here also you can use some different tag. I normally use p tag, which looks really cool for the comment. Okay, here I'm gonna write comment, and comment has a comment, and it has a rating. Suppose inside this square, inside this bracket, I'm gonna write its rating. Okay, suppose it should be comment rating. Comment has a comment, as a comment has a rating. This is 2 important thing. This also means rating is 5. Okay, so that's very important, and we can write it, hold all the comments. To hold all the comment, we can create one more div and just put all of those things inside a container. it looks better, it looks more modern and clean. And margin top of 2, margin bottom of 2, and padding of 2, it looks better. And bg color, which is success. Okay, let me see how it looks. Okay, 13 is awesome. And let me add a normal color to it. This color doesn't look so good, but I will change it to something to look better. Okay, this is a light green color. Okay, this comment looks really nice. Yeah, then we have one more div with a class of container. It should be container, and here we will add our comment. Here we're gonna write add a comment. Okay, here we'll have a form so that we can add a comment. So let me see how it looks. Okay, it looks better, but I think we need to have a margin top of 3 and padding of 2. I think it will look better. Okay, add a comment. Okay, so here we'll have our form to add our comment. Okay, resources and views, I'm going to and show.blade.php. You can also copy from there. It looks almost similar, and you need to copy the whole form. So we need to save that thing, and let me see how it looks. Okay, add a comment and add a rating. Okay, and that should be shown inside here. So you already fetched the data from the database. We need to add this comment system. So first we have a form, we have an action method post, and make sure it is a CSRF token. And let me delete this thing at this moment. We don't need it. First we have a form for a comment. As you can see, it has a type of text, form control, and name is comment. By this request, we're going to access the data from the blade.html pages. And make sure it has an ID of comment, and it has an ID of rating and name rating. Okay, it's a very important thing. And then we have a button submit. Okay, so this is very important. It will fire up some jQuery. So to have a jQuery, we have app.blade.php. If you see there, we have imported a jQuery.min.js, okay, from the CDN, and you need to add it if you want to use the Ajax. So here one more thing is very important. To use the Ajax and jQuery, you need to use this thing, meta name CSRF token, and content is equals to, you need to write inside the curly bracket, double curly bracket, you need to write CSRF underscore token, because when we put some data into the Ajax, we are using this comment system to put all those data in using the Ajax. Okay, so that's why I need to write meta name CSRF token, content CSRF token. So remind that you need to add it inside our main root blade.php, which is app.blade.php, which is extending everything, like create page is extending it, edit page extending it, even the show page extended it. That's why we need to have it inside here. And for that we need to have a script tag. So in the script tag, you can use all of those things. Here we need to set up our Ajax. So as you can see, within this, we need to write something which is $.Ajax setup. This is very important. Without this, you cannot do anything. You cannot move forward. Okay. So we need to have a headers. And here you can just write XCSRF token. XCSRF token is equals to $meta name XCSRF token, and attribute is content. Okay, so we have .blade.php, as you can see. So this is the thing. Content is equal to CSRF token, and name is equal to CSRF token. So this is the thing that we are referring here. Meta name CSRF token and attribute content. So inside the content, we will have our meta called CSRF tokens. Add comment function by ID hash. And we need to go to our submit button, which is add comment button. When you click on this, something will happen. When we click on this add comment button, click, and we have a function call, and in the function call we will write. So first one is variable comment. And how can you get this data? By this thing, by comment. Okay, our form name is comment, and then we have rating. So first we need to go to comment and grab the comment value from the form using this form. If we go there using this form, we are getting all those values. We need to write .val to get all the values from the comment section. And then similarly, we can write var rating is equals to $. And here you need to write rating. And this rating is from this ID rating. We are gathering all those values. .val. Okay, so this is the two important thing that we need. then we just need to have an ID. Okay, so how can we get the ID? We need to pass some ID. So for that we need to have an ID to pass. So which product ID we're inserting those comments. So that's why we have to have an ID here. So here we can write, suppose hash, I will name it hash ID dot value. So how can we get that? We need to be really smart, guys. We need to add one more input type, and input type is hidden. Okay, its name is ID and its ID is ID, and it should have a value, and value should be like $product.id, because in the show page we have access to product. Okay, it has an ID. So this is the ID that we want to grab, and by this ID we can grab its value. Okay, so our main ID is this one. We need to grab its value, which is product ID number 3, and that's why we are getting this ID. Okay, and now we need to input all of this data here. Ajax. Okay, here we will call our Ajax, and Ajax has the important thing, which is type. Ajax type is post request. Then we have our data type. Data type is JSON format. We're going to post all those data into the JSON format into the database. So first we need to call our Ajax, and its type is post, because we are posting some data like comment, rating, and ID, and data type is JSON. And then we have our data, and those data we need to pass in, because this is a post request, we need to pass some data, and you can write to this comment data that we need to pass. And rating is rating. So we are passing all those data. As you can see, this comment is actually this comment, and this rating is actually this rating. In the database rating field we are putting this rating, and in the database comment field we are putting this comment. So if we go to the local host, as you can see, we have two things, comment and rating. Just don't worry about product ID at this moment, we need to use it later. And here you need to write one more thing. See, you can copy from here, which is underscore token is equals to CSRF token. So you have to write it here, obviously, otherwise it will never gonna work, because this is working with CSRF token, because cross-site forgery will be there. As you have here, the CSRF token is inside the form. So that's why when you post some data like comment, rating, other etc., all of those things, you have to have a CSRF token, otherwise it will not work. And then final thing is URL. So Ajax takes something like type of post and its data type, which data type you are posting, and your actual data that you want to post into the database, and your URL. Now URL, I will not write it like this. I can write it like products and its ID. Okay, so this is important. Now we need to do it dynamically, and this should be the same ID as this ID that we grabbed. Okay, product/ID. This is the URL we're gonna hit. After the URL is done, you have to write success. We have a function call if we have a success or data, and here we're going to write console.log data saved. Okay, our comment data is saved. If it is not right, we have an error, then we have a function, and the function here you can directly write console.log error. Okay, simple. So if there is error, it will print this error. If it is success, then it will say data is saved, and we're gonna send the request to product/ID, because each of the product ID will have its comments, and in this URL we're gonna post this comment, rating, all of those CSRF tokens, so that we can put some comment, and we are getting all of this data using this. We grab this comment by its ID and get its value, grab this rating by its ID and give its value, grab this ID by its rating and its value, and then we just pass all those values. Now here you don't need to pass this ID from here. So this is the main important thing. You don't need to worry about it here. You don't need to pass it, because we already need that ID only to go into the particular URL. So that's why I need that. We don't need to put it inside the data. So now we need to work with our web.php, and in the web.php you can just copy this thing and paste here, and here we're gonna write product/ID, and this is the post request, and here you need to go to the comment controller, and in the comment controller you will do something. Suppose I'm gonna write it like it should be products.comment.add, here we're gonna add some comment. Okay, here we're gonna add a comment. Okay, so we need to create a controller first. So we need to create, let me go out of the shell. We're gonna create one more controller, php artisan make controller comment controller. So I'm doing it without a repository pattern, especially the comment system, because there is only one function that we need. We don't need too many functionality like here. So that's why it is a good practice when you have a very less amount of code, just write it normal using the comment controller. If you have a too many things to work with, then use the repository pattern. Suppose we have a product controller, we have a lot of functionality. So that's why we use this interface thing and repository thing. Otherwise, we don't need that. Okay, public function add comment, and we need to pass some ID. And this ID would be coming from, if we go to web.php here, we will pass some ID into the add comment functionality. And here you can use comment model, and in the comment.create, here you're going to insert like comment, and inside the comment we need to get the comment using the request comment. Okay, and for that we need to have a request, which is http request, and just to call it like request. And so using the request, we're gonna get all the comment from the show.blade.php. If you go there, we are getting this comment and rating. These are the two values, very important to work with this. So if you go to the add comment here, so in the add comment functionality, we are putting all those comment, and this is getting the data from the request. Then we need a rating. So very simple logic. If you understand the simple thing, how to get data using the request from the Blade page, it is absolutely simple. And this will be coming from rating. So we are getting the comment and the request from the rating. We get the rating, and then we need one more thing. When to create a comment, we need to have a product ID. So this is very important. So product underscore ID. So because these are the comments will be belonging to particular product ID. If you go to the database, as you can see, we have a product ID information also there. We need to include that, very important. And this should be like ID, and this ID is actually the product ID that we are passing here. This is the same thing, exactly the same thing as that is coming from the web.php file, product/ID. And this ID is actually, if we go there, this ID. Okay, so this ID would be passed, and comment and rating will be passed. Then we can see all this information. Web.php, one more thing, we need to import comment controller. We need to use comment controller here, and you go to add comment with the particular ID. We're gonna use product.comments.add. We're gonna add this comment. Very simple. And this is the route for comment module. You can go to the GitHub repository. You can see the code later. Optimize. We go to products, and here suppose Asus Gaming Laptop, there is no comment here. It says just add a comment. So suppose in the S22 we need to add one more comment. Suppose we put some comment. Let me see if it is working or not. It's an great Android smartphone, great Android phone, suppose, and its rating is 5. So we have 2 comment here. All of our comment system is working. We can add comment from here. We can see all of our comment particular product. Okay, so it works really fine, and there's no comment here. We can also implement that. It's the comment Ajax, and how to add a comment, how I can get the comment from the database, which is really easy and simple. And in this video, I hope you guys learn a lot from especially the Ajax. And in the next video, you will understand a lot of things like repository pattern inside the admin dashboard, which works really awesomely. So till then, take care. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next video with amazing content. So till then, take care. Bye.